Today in Pre Algebra, we are talking about scatter plots. This is Chapter 1, Lesson 6. The scatter plot shows the relationship between a set of data with two variables graphed as an ordered pair or ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. In example 1 here, it tells us to make a scatter plot of the approximate population of Tampa, Florida. So in order to do that, we're going to start by letting the horizontal axis, or our x-axis, represent the year. And then we're going to let the y-axis, or that vertical axis, represent the population in thousands. So here you're going to show that relationship as a scattered plot by plotting those points. And now we can understand that year is really going to correlate with the x-coordinate, and population is going to correlate with the y-coordinate in thousands. So I can start here and view these as 1940, 108, because I know that this is my x-coordinate, this is my y-coordinate. I can continue to do that for the rest of the chart there. Okay. Then it says graph the ordered pair. So it says year, population. That's exactly what we've done over here to the right. So here they come to the first one. We have 1940, and we move up to 108, which is going to be slightly above 100, and they graph that point. Okay. They continue to do that for the rest of them, and that's how you're going to construct your scatter plot. The second thing we'll talk about is how we can analyze those scatter plots. So the following scatter plots show the types of relationships or patterns of two sets of data. So the first says it's a positive relationship. So as x increases this way, okay, y is also going to increase. The second one we're going to talk about is a negative relationship. So as x increases this way, y is actually going to decrease as we go down. Okay? And then the third one is no relationship. Okay? And in a no relationship, there's no obvious pattern. So notice how we've got points plotted on this coordinate plane that are scattered everywhere. We don't have anything that's showing positive or negative correlation there. The second example, we're going to interpret that scatter plot. So it says determine whether the scatter plot of the birth month and age of people in a park might show a positive, negative, or no relationship. Then explain your answer. Well, I think it's pretty obvious just by looking at the plot. We know that we don't have some kind of positive correlation. So we know that it's not positive. We also can see that there's really no negative correlation. Now, when I talk about positive and negative correlations, those coordinate points do not need to be exactly on that negative correlation line, I guess. They can really be scattered anywhere along that line as long as you can tell that as x increases, y is going to decrease. So we know that we don't have a negative correlation, okay? But we do have what we call no correlation. So a person's age over here is not affected by their birth month. Therefore, the scatter plot of the data would show no relationship. And it's really important when they ask to explain your answer, all you're saying is exactly what that graph tells you. The person's age is not affected by their birth month. Okay. The last example here, we're also going to continue to analyze scatter plots, and it says the table shows how many cups of coffee were sold during outdoor games at certain temperatures. So here you can see the chart that shows the number of cups that we have and the temperatures up there. So the first thing we're going to do is make a scatter plot of that data. And it says we're going to let the horizontal axis, or that x-axis, represent the temperature. And we're going to let the vertical axis represent the number of cups that are sold, or that y-axis. And then you're just going to graph the data. Well, being that here is my x number line and this is my y number line, I really know that temperature is referring to my x. So I have an x here, and the number of cups is my y. Now you can continue to look at this and plot your points based off of the chart, but really understand that this now means 34, 42, because we've got the temperature, meaning our x-coordinate, and the number of cups, meaning our y-coordinate. And then all you do is go ahead and plot those points. Okay, be really precise with those. So 34, 42, I know I'm right before 35, up to about 42 and I plot that point. And you'll continue to do that for the rest of the numbers that are in that chart. B says, draw a conclusion about the type of relationship the data shows and then explain it. Well, right now, since they plotted the rest of the points for us, we can see that as the temperature increases, okay, or as the temperature increases this way, the number of cups sold is actually going to decrease. So the scatter plot shows that negative relationship, or that negative correlation. And then C says, predict the number of cups sold if the temperature is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, let's see. If I come over here to about 30 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, and I can make my way up here, I know that somewhere up here is where that correlation is going to be, or that the number of cups sold is going to be in correlation with that temperature. So I can guess that by looking at the pattern in the graph, you can predict that between 40 and 45 cups will be sold, okay?